this matchup, we're going to have Malamar Aerodactyl going up against Lugia. Now, this Lugia list, it looks like, is pretty much your standard one that's coming out now with the Canceling Cologne, Path of the Peak, and it's being piloted by Aiden Koos. Malamar is being piloted by a person we only know as the Broth. Now, Emmy, who do you think is going to win this matchup?
See, I think we both know Lugia, right? Lugia is something that's so common right now. It's even though it's not played as highly in this current Tournament of Doom, we've seen it at like 30%, almost 40% at regionals. Right now, maybe falling off a little bit, but I don't think I've seen a Malamar deck since Piper Lapine played it last season. So I don't know.
I know, and like I don't know how it fully functions, but they do have the Malamar start, and they do have the Battle VIP pass.
Yeah, and this Battle VIP pass is going to be so key to be able to grab some of these components. Like using those Mew from Celebrations to be able to get our essential tool cards. Like I know we play Dark Patch to be able to get that 3 energy onto our Malamar VMAXs. Because it is a dark type, so able to use that Dark Patch like we just said. Going to the discard pile, unfortunately, though, to dig a little more with that Tricking Shoes.
Now, the interesting thing here will be, do they get rid of both Path of the Peaks or just one? So we see the one gone.
And we do have that 1/1 Aerodactyl VSTAR line. That can definitely be a way to kind of automatically win against Lugia. So I'm curious to see if that's kind of the line they end up going for.
Yes, because that will shut down the Lugia a little bit more efficiently than the Path of the Peak will. And you don't need to play the Path of the Peak right away against Lugia most times, because they're not going. They can't activate their ability until turn 2.
Right, exactly. Which is interesting that we're opting to just go ahead and grab that Malamar VMAX instead. Maybe just thinking, we don't really have a way to make sure that we get that Aerodactyl V-Star in the active with an energy on it to be able to use that V-Star attack. But yeah, we'll see here. Both of our players kind of having not the best starter Pokemon in their active that they would hope for. We've got that Lumineon V, which obviously we want to use that mini assign ability. When it gets put onto our bench, we can search our deck for a supporter card, but not really helping us very much right now.
I find it interesting that the Broth grabbing that Malamar VMAX as well is almost challenging Aiden to Marnie them.
Well, looks like we're gonna see a Serena here discard up to 3 cards and draw up to 5. We see the attaching an Aurora energy to discard a Radiant Charizard, which is pretty intense.
And the discarded the Lumineon. The second Lumineon.
Interesting.
Which
is pretty common in Lugia.
Which they cannot use, but they can attack with the Rain Splash.
Well, we see in our hand, we do have 2 Marnie in hand now, so we will go ahead and evolve that Malamar V into a VMAX and Marnie, so we will Marnie your Marnie to the bottom of the deck.
I'm assuming Aiden doesn't mind, and he was probably looking to do the same thing. And we can see a concealed cards here.
So this is, you kind of want some dark energy in the discard pile to be able to use those dark patches. So it's actually good that we did not play that Path to the Peak, even though it might have been tempting to throw that down.
The Yveltal is a very interesting addition to this, considering that you want to probably use it later game against Lugia, and just kind of get rid of the extra energy it's got out there.
Right.
Because we will see the Mew here.
Ooh, lots of options. Yeah, I don't mind grabbing the air balloon here. We do have 2 scoop up nuts in hand, so we're going to be able to reset that Mew if we wanted to. We could attach the air balloon to the Radiant Ninja, but it doesn't look like we're going to go for that play. Instead, just going to go ahead and attach that directly to the Mew itself.
We'll see the Mew attachment, and now the question becomes, what is your next move? The Manaphy is not going to KO you. They don't have any Lugia.
It better not.
they have 0 Lugias out right now.
Right. They don't have any Archeops in the discard, I don't believe.
Shouldn't have. I don't believe I saw any even off the Serena.
Right. So we will see what we marnied them into. Have we marnied them into a great hand? Have we marnied them into something that's also kind of bricky?
And the interesting thing, I even point out as well, Aiden tossed his other Luminion. So there is no options to try to find it and grab whatever they need as a possibility.
Right.
The
We
V
do see that evolution insights grab the Archeops, but okay, I was gonna say I don't know if we have a way to discard it, but we do see that Serena.
the V Guard energy as well being put onto the Luminion does prevent the one hit KO from Max Jammer.
Mm,
So we will not see an easy one hit KO from the Malamar VMAX unless they play a way to remove the tool, which looking at their list, they do not.
okay.
Or not the tool, apologies, the special energy.
Right, which very little plays that right now except for like we've got the Celebrations Evil Tall that we were just talking about because we see it in our list from the Malamar perspective, as well as Fan of Waves, which I know was popular as kind of a one-off at the beginning of Lugia being a popular deck, but it doesn't help you enough to justify it, so
And well, we can see a concealed cards here. I don't think it hurts. They have, I believe I've seen one, maybe two energies already in the discard.
yeah, they're ready for those dark patches, that's for sure.
Interesting to see the scoop up net on the Mew. I would have liked to see the balloons stay in play.
Yeah, I agree. I wonder maybe we're thinking we need to kind of thin out our hand here in case we do get Marnied ourselves or Roxanne.
We'll see the
Those,
pickup. We will see the pickup here. See the Max Jammer. For
like you were
150.
saying, it does survive, yeah.
He does get to take one card and put it to the bottom. Which he is.
Which
It is a little bit laggy. We did not end up seeing it, but that is part of what you deal with when you stream games. Sometimes things can be a little bit laggy. Sometimes they're not.
right, yeah, I was gonna say I don't know if we know what was put down there, but we do see a benching of that Lugia and then a pass.
They hard retreated the
Luminion, right.
which they have Ultra Ball or Aurora Energy, and I assume you go Ultra Ball.
Yeah, for sure.
So we're seeing this Malamar take control of this game.
Yeah, this can definitely be really powerful, like I said, in combination with Marnie's or other hand disruption to just be able to choose specific cards and just throw them to the bottom of your opponent's deck, and your opponent can't really do very much about it.
As we now see the last card in Aiden's hand go away, and depending on what they top deck here, they might be able to actually read the wind and save their life.
Yeah, we will have to see. That Malamar VMAX not doing enough. Oh, yep, that looks like that was an Archeops to hit the discard pile there with Read the Wind, draw 3 cards. Uh, this Malamar's not doing enough damage to threaten Lugia quite yet, but it is enough that we might want to be a little concerned getting some other stuff in play.
I think that's what they're going through. The Path of the Peak being in play definitely hinders the Lugia from being able to just straight do what they want. And we're going to see the Marnie, which is an interesting play, but I don't think it hurts the Broth as much as it does maybe the Lugia, because maybe he got 3 great cards in the 4th. We don't know.
Yeah, that's the chances that you're taking with hand disruption is we knew what was in our hand because our opponent had no hand. And then they were able to draw 3 cards off of that Read the Wind. So we have no idea if they drew Stadium Bump and V-Star. I don't know, a bunch of things, but
I think we'll safely see the Evolution Incense go away.
All right, we'll see if the Lugia player is able to respond at all.
We'll see a capture energy, which I believe was probably the best move they had. Now we will see a read the wind, and they will continue to get a bigger hand.
Not by much, especially that since this Max Jammer here is going to take out this active Lugia, as well as be able to throw another card at the bottom of the deck.
I wouldn't have been against bringing up the other Lugia just to have it up, but that leaves you open to the risk of the second Lugia, the one that is active right now, using its secondary attack, even as a base form, and taking your stadium out.
Right. I mean, at the same time, also, we're so far ahead here. We are chilling. We have shut down. This Malamar has done what it's supposed to do, right? We have completely shut down here. Looks like we're opting to maybe throw the Lugia V at the bottom. I wouldn't hate throwing the double turbo energy in there because that could be used to kind of pivot into something else, but Lugia doesn't love having energy in hand either.
We'll see the two prizes here. Now he's just looking for one, and if Lugia is able to get something set up, I believe, I'm going to double check, they do play boss's orders. The Malamar does, so the Malamar would be able to go ahead and just bring up whatever.
Right.
And then they'll be entirely fine, and they'll do what they need to do.
All right, we do see the professor's research there, probably the top deck, because I don't believe we saw that in the hand. And just see the read the wind.
So that is not boding well for our Lugia player. We will see that go away, and we'll probably see an attachment straight to the Malamar V, which means we have two Malamar set up. It feels like there is a checkmate set up here. Very large hand.
Still no way to get an evolution and no way to get out of that path. So let's put that Marnie at the bottom of the deck. You're not allowed to see more cards.
They can get out of the path, but obviously if you take the Marnie away, you allow yourself not to let them see even more. Because they could.
Do they have a path pump? I didn't see one.
They had Pumpkaboo in hand.
Oh, that's what it was.
They have a path bump, but that's all they have right now. The Malamar is doing very, very strong and very, very well set up plays here. Aiden's got to be debating about what they can do.
I know we're being professional, but hi, Azul.
YouTube, we are going to interrupt for just a moment here. What's up, everyone coming in from Azul GG's stream? We are currently watching Malamar go up against Lugia VSTAR. This is our current Tournament of Doom featured game of the week. Sucks, Azul, that Arctura didn't do what I was hoping it would do. But again, thank you for the raid, and YouTube, say hi to Azul's chat in the comments below.
So we're finally gonna see a swing back to that Malamar VMAX here from the Lugia VSTAR, but unfortunately, I don't think it's enough. We cannot take 6 prizes in one turn, of course. So that Malamar V on the bench is looking mighty hungry.
Very, very hungry. And there we'll see the concession. The Broth wins up against Aiden Koos with his Malamar VMAX deck. Let's go ahead and take a peek at the list. Now, here's the list that Malamar V was running. It ran very, very well tonight. It got set up. They never brought the Aerodactyl out. So he never worried about it. The path came down early. And as soon as the Malamar VMAX started doing what Malamar VMAX does, it just won.
Yeah, and I'm glad that we just went ahead and focused on setting up those Malamars. I know at the beginning, both of us were kind of like, oh, maybe we should set up the Aerodactyl, but I think that with what ended up happening, it was the perfect kind of route. That Aerodactyl can definitely win you some games, but might have made everything kind of clunky, and we were kind of locked on what was on our bench anyways.
Yeah, the Aerodactyl would have been nice, but we also saw the Path of the Peak stock, and then the small hand stock, and so it gave Malamar everything it wanted to do and needed to do.
For sure. And yeah, like I know, didn't Azul just play Malamar on stream recently? Because it was really interesting to watch. Like I was saying, I hadn't seen anyone play Malamar VMAX before Azul played it on stream since Piper Lapine played it last season. So it's been a hot second.
Very hot second. And with that, that is the featured game from the Tournament of Doom. Like, subscribe, comment, ring that bell, all that good YouTube stuff. I'm Senior Doom. Joining me as ever is the amazing Pokeyemi, and we will see you next week.